Children, in our last class, we have discussed about force. Now, today, we will discuss types of force. Before that, just to recap what we have studied earlier. We have studied what is force and came to know force is push or pull. Then we studied how force is came into existence, or we can say how force takes birth. Force is due to interaction between two objects. Also, we have studied that if more than one force is acting on a body, then how we calculate or how we see the changes, and came to know if two forces act on a body in the same direction, the net force is the sum of the two forces. Like if an object, if one force acting along this direction, another force also acting along this direction, if this force is F1, this force is F2, then net force is, means we write F total equal to F1 plus F2. It will be the net force. If the two forces act on a body in opposite direction, let F1 is now along this direction and F2 is along this direction. And F2 is along this direction. F2 is along this direction. It is F1 and this one is F2. Then net force will be difference of these two. Also, the effect of force. Force can make an object to move from rest. Force can stop a moving object. Force can change the speed of moving object. Force can change the direction of moving object, and force can change the shape of an object. This we have learned. Now, types of force. Force may be categorized mainly in the two categories. One is contact force and other is non-contact force. Contact force are forces exerted by one another when they are in contact with each other. For example, muscular force, if we are holding a bucket of water in our hand above the earth, then the force is there. One force is muscular force, otherwise we unable to hold that. And another is force of friction. Let here, this one is a table over which an object, then, and if we apply a force here, then friction comes into the action, and the friction opposes the motion, means it is the applied force, then friction will come its opposite. Then the force will be along, friction force is along this direction, this side. If the force we apply along this side, or if we roll a ball here, let it's a ball and it rolls down, along this direction. Ball is moving on the ground. After some time, we will find the ball will come at rest. Ball will come at rest. How it comes on rest? Due to the friction which opposes its motion, means friction will be along this direction. Another is non-contact force. Forces exerted by one object on another without any contact with each other are non-contact force. Non-contact force are of three types. They are magnetic force, electrostatic force, and gravitational force. Let us see first one by one now. The muscular force. Muscular force is the force exerted by the muscles of our body. For example, or the animals, see here how it is. The man here, see in the rope applying the muscular force. Here the playing girl when hitting the cork using the muscular force. Paddling the cycle, we use the muscular force. Next is the force of friction. As we cited earlier, the force of friction is the force which opposes the motion of an object over the surface. Means if body is body move with this side, then force of friction will be this side. Here the cycle see wearing tearing of the tire is due to the friction. Now the magnetic force. Magnetic force is the force exerted by magnet. All of you have seen the magnet. It is the bar magnet. See here the red color, the north pole, another is south. Magnetic force is attractive or repulsive. When the like poles, see here, like poles, but see in this direction here, like poles are nearer, so the force is repulsive. Means this magnet exert a force on this magnet in this direction. In this direction, this magnet is repelling this magnet. Similarly, this magnet is repelling this magnet, left hand side magnet, along this direction. Likewise here, repulsive. But when the opposite poles comes into contact, close, there the force is attractive. Keep in mind, this force is due to this magnet, and this force is due to this magnet. Another, if we take a magnet that will attract a piece of iron or a steel. Also, if you burn a matchstick and take a magnet, there's a chance that magnet will attract the burnt matchstick. The reason, the in the tip of the matchstick there is the ferric oxide. After burn, that forms iron, and iron is attracted towards magnet. By doing this activity in presence of your parent, you can do this one. Next is electrostatic force. Electrostatic force is the force exerted by a charged body on another charged or uncharged body. If we take a plastic comb and rub that plastic comb in our dry hair and bring that rubbed comb near the piece of paper, we will see the piece of paper is attracted towards the comb. Here see, here is the repulsion. This straw is moving this side. It means both are the like charges. Here it is attracted. So obviously both is opposite charges. And the third is gravitational force. Gravitational force is the force exerted by the earth on all objects. It is a very long range force. Electrostatic force is also long range force. Magnetic force is not extended up to that much. So here the gravitational force is the force exerted by Earth on all objects. It is also called gravity. Gravity. Another name of gravitational force is gravity. And all objects is attracted towards Earth. Means we can say gravitational force pulls all objects towards the Earth. A coin or pen falls down when it slips off from our hand. A ball thrown upward falls down. Leaves and fruit fall to the ground when they are detached from the plant. Water in rivers flows downward due to the gravitational force. Another, if we just earlier we have taken an example, if we hold a bucket of water in our hand above the earth, then what are the forces acting on that? One is the muscular force, another is gravitational force. If we leave the muscular force, the filled that bucket will fall down due to gravitational force. One more here, the information. Now, here, force is measured in, for example, if we purchase some vegetables, that is measured in kilogram. If we cover some distance, that is measured in meter, kilometer. Speed of a vehicle, that is measured in meter per second. And the force is measured, its unit, SI unit is Newton. Newton. So here be careful, if we write the full name as the unit, then the first letter is small. But if we write in a symbolic, it will be capital. So force is measured in Newton. It is SI unit. Means a standard we can say. Next, another unit we will learn in higher classes. Now the questions here given as assignment. 8 questions are there. Question 1 is, name 2 broad categories of force. That is contact and non-contact force. Is it compulsory that non-contact forces are having both properties, attraction and repulsion? What are the non-contact force? That is the magnetic force, gravitational force, electrostatic force. See in which force is always attractive? That is the gravitational force. Write the force with which the earth attracts the object towards it. It is gravitational force. During dry weather, cloths made of synthetic fiber often stick to the skin. Which type of force is responsible for this phenomenon? That is electrostatic force. Briefly mention the interaction of poles of two magnets. Means like poles, what they do, unlike poles, what happens? Does the force of gravity act on dust particle? Yes, it acts. Otherwise, dust particle will go in the space. Fruits detached from a tree fall down due to force of gravity. We know that a force arises due to interaction between the two objects. Name the objects interacting in this case. Means here, which other than the gravity, is there any other force? Think. If not, then we will discuss its answer in the next. A man is pushing a cart down a slope. Suddenly the cart starts moving faster and he wants to slow down. What should he do? Think and write all these questions in your notebook. Thank you. Have a good day.